All right. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? So I wanted to start the day off with just sharing my first trade right here on a little video and sharing that a little goes a long way. It's a trade that I've gotten very familiar with and I've been loving trading. So let's just real quick remove that and get into the charts. So when I came on this morning, what I saw was let's go to the higher time frame, remove the VWAP for a second. I saw that we were starting to respect this daily fair value gap, and for the London session, this was my first um, bias, is that we have taken previous day low and now we're starting to move up quite a bit. And at the same time, refine it a bit into that 4 hour fair value gap, and we are starting to just move up, creating low resistance liquidity below actually. So that is something that we can look for at a later stage. I really want to, on the day, I really want to get to this 4 hour fair value gap up here, take out that AM high. Reason being is that if we go to this here, we can actually see the consolidation reversal that we have a Monday high. We consolidate all the way down into a higher time frame PDR rate, and then we just push up on a Thursday. And we're on Thursday today, and we do have unemployment claims that can add to the fuel right here. I haven't really pulled the standard deviations on it yet, but you see that we are way overextended. If we are, I think that could be the right pull. Yeah. So some retracement is about, maybe we go take out liquidity to then move up. Doesn't matter. Let's get on with the trade. So my bias was kind of long. We have opened, put in that bottom wick on the daily candle for now at least. We see the daily candle out here. And we claimed the 12 o'clock open as well. 15 minutes, same as yesterday. What we were doing was that we were creating higher highs and lower lows. So this would be the external range liquidity, and we would then search for internal. We got the internal here, kind of fair value gap, way out of session, but whatever. And then we have it again right here, external to, to internal right there, and then I got on the chart right here. Really nice staircase. See, like step up like that. People trading ICT saying that you can't make money off the trend line. That's why we use these concepts to make the trend line sound like something else. But all we're really doing is just trading that trend line up, and then we are calling it internal external range liquidity. Uh, and to be honest, I don't really mind. I think that whatever works, whatever makes you money is just as good as anything. So Asia high been taken. I've started to not really like the Asia sweep setup. I think it forms way less often. Usually we see it a lot in like the winter months, I think. I've been really doing well on this strategy in the summer months, not so much. So I was actually off of that, just considering that we would get another retracement into this internal range liquidity. And what we see is that we, instead of sweeping that Asia high, we are running it. We are pushing and we're making displacement right there up through. Whereas if we were sweeping it, if you look at that high here, you see that we go right up and down below. And then at this time, if I was seeing that, I probably wouldn't have looked for the entry on this fair value gap for long. I would have waited for another confluence to get me long. Because price right here, if we went back in time like that, was just telling that there was a chance that we were not going higher. We also had that fair value gap right here that we could have gotten into. So, but then we get the displacement here, and that could then give us the designed to go long in this internal range liquidity here. Internal range liquidity. All right, on nice and easy. We then see the displacement up. We create another high and we start pulling down, and that's where I get into the lower time frame because I want to see how I can find the best entry function as possible. Uh, I really like trading uh, the um, the unicorn setup, which is breaker, a breaker block entry. So what we would see here is that we are coming down, we are displacing up above, and then we get in on uh, on the breaker that looks like this. It's a very simple setup. We see it all the time. Um, another thing that I really like to see is these really sharp turns. These turns that is just like a V shape, like this. Um, goes into a point of interest and then push out really really fast, and you get that massive wick. At the same time, in the exact bottom, I will get into that in just a bit. In that bottom, we will have to see that volume spiking up. Using my top step platform to see the volume spike because I'm not on futures chart here on TradingView, but on top step that I am. And so these volume spikes down here are not really that well. So I will get into that in just a second and how I got into it. Now I kind of knew that I wanted to get involved in off of this 15-minute internal range liquidity fair value gap. Another way to find out where inside of this fair value gap we could get involved, because look at this, it's 20 points, and risking one contract that is $400 of a stop loss if you were just blindly too long within this here, you would have to stop down there. What you can do, you can really refine it by using the fixed range volume profile. This is a tool that you find out here in the left, fixed range volume profile. We'll get into the anchored VWAP in a second. So what you do is that you pull it from the low to the high. This gives you the most volume conducted in the whole price leg up, in the price swing up. You see that there is no volume here. The reason is that price went way too fast, searching for sellers to sell to the buyers, and so price was moving up really fast. What we see inside of this fair value gap is that value area low. Value area low is conducted of the from the 70% of where the volume was traded, the most volume was traded. So this is value area high, value area low. You see right in here, in this area right there, is 70% of the volume of this whole price swing was conducted. And you kind of see it because we're moving very slow here. So if we just mark out a line on that, there we go, and we have a value area low. You see that all of a sudden we already know where we will search for. There's no reason to search for this fair value gap down here, because why would price need to go there when you have all the volume right here? If anybody was buying right there, they will try and protect this area. At the same time, other people will see and say, well, we want to try and get involved and get along in this area. So this is the reason why you can use these lines on top of your fair value gaps to get involved. Another volume thing I really like to use is the anchored VWAP. In this case, when we're looking for long, we would have to anchor it to a swing low. Let me just give me 1 second. Yeah, anchor it to a swing low. And you could have gotten involved over here, because then you see that we go down, we tap into the value area low, and then it pushes up close above, meaning that this anchored VWAP is now being respected. And then you could look for the entry right here. But in this case, this was how I was seeing it. So let me just get to the, I haven't taken the screenshot here. Get to the top step broker. So what we see is when we were coming down into this low here, we see that this is the volume spikes at the bottom. You see that the volume is kind of, let me just get a line, make it another color. We can make it white. We can bring that, oh, I think it already is at the front. Yeah, so let's just make it fat as well. Okay, excuse me. So what we will see is that the volume up into here is kind of low. And then when we get into the area, you see that the volume is doubling compared to all of the rest. Getting into here, this shows that there is volume involved. Volume is just traders getting active and trying to buy up this area, or they are taking profits from a short. But if you're closing your short, you need to buy that position back, and then this is just opening new longs. And that you see in the volume spike, knowing that people are getting involved. What you then see right there is your entry function. I don't know if you can see it. It's just a small breaker block. If you look, the green candle there is a breaker block. We close above, we tap it in, and then we go. Now, what I went and got involved is after the next push down, where you see the same kind of volume spike. And I go for these base hits of just 10 points, in and out real fast. And yeah, so here I got my 10 points on the day. Really easy. I think you can see down here as well. It's really simple, and it's just such a great way to have confluence in what you're trading. To have that volume on your side, this is what we call the 3D. You can kind of say without the volume here and the volume spikes at the low, you have your 2D chart, right? But you don't know where in this price leg here the volume is conducted. You might say, okay, well, we're moving really fast here, so there should be less volume right there. And here we're kind of starting to battle out with kind of going from going straight, oh, can't see this, kind of going from going, you see here, going straight up to then start flattening out, meaning that people are getting involved. So you could say that there's more volume right here than there would be right here, and we would rebalance this inefficiency, this where there's no volume. But we don't really get to rebalance that. You can even see the 5-minute value gap doesn't even get hit. We only get into this top of it. And the way we can figure out why that is and how that is going to work and why this is going to work is just to see that, well, there is just so much volume down here. So this is the place that it would need to protect. So that was kind of a long story to a quick trade. I think the trade was 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I spent 13 minutes explaining it. But let me know if you like this video, and I will make some more for you. Until then, just ask a lot of questions, all the questions that you need in the Discord. I will try and answer all of them. Just remember to ask under the video. So that's it for me. Have a great day.